Ireland's great period of change. Perhaps you're familiar less with my artistic phases than with my more caricaturish incarnations.
In the beginning was the earth.
The planet we live on, and respect and dignity for all.
Art can be an attempt to get to grips with the nature of the divisions in our world.
The formation of the Irish state was very much linked to the male, I think, in terms of like the 1937 constitution, the Joyce, Wilde, all of these kind of, almost pantheons are supposed, but there was no attention given at all to any female writers.
Smashing Time Centre for the Arts and Equality is committed to the fact that the arts are open to everybody to participate in and to enjoy. In Smashing Times, we do a range of arts events and activities that promote a human rights agenda. We partner with civil society organisations as well as individual artists and arts organisations. And the main focus of our work is to promote the use of creative practice and arts in general to create a better world, really, to have a world that is more equal, has a respect for human rights. Everybody should have the right to engage in creative practice, to enjoy it and to participate in creative practice if that's what they want to do. The Dublin Arts and Human Rights Festival developed because the centre wanted to raise the profile of the role that arts play in creating a better world. We really wanted to kind of find a way that arts and artists could have a platform to demonstrate their work as it related to promoting equality, human rights, climate justice, gender equality, anti-racism, and all the areas that prevent us from living in a world that is equal and that promotes human rights. This festival started because the organisation was looking at the kind of breadth of work we were doing, and we were working in the area of mental health, we were working in the area of peace building and reconciliation, of gender equality, and education on the use of creative practices to promote human rights. When we looked at that kind of work we were doing, we wanted to consolidate it, to bring it all together in one space where people could join with us to celebrate the use of creative practices to promote human rights. To engage with people to be involved in the festival, we spread the net very wide. We open it up through all our partners to get them, their client groups or their followers involved, as well as through all media, both social media and the regular media, just to let people know that this is going on and that people can be involved.
My name is Mary Moynihan and I'm Artistic Director of the Smashing Times International Centre for the Arts and Equality. I'm a writer, a theatre and filmmaker, and I am the Curator and Director of the Dublin International Art and Human Rights Festival, and I'm also the mother of 4 children. State of the Arts, the nation state as both violator and protector of human rights, is a year-long programme initiated by Smashing Times, and the idea of the programme is to bring together 14 artists across different art forms. So we've visual artists, we've theatre artists, we've film artists, we've dance artists, we've writers, and the idea is to provide a forum where those artists can be supported to develop their art form around using the arts for equality, human rights and diversity. We brought the 14 artists together. We've had a series of creative meetings with artists, and then the artists have all collaboratively worked on the development of a series of showcases. So we've developed a number of plays, we've developed short films, we've developed a film installation. So different events have been created by the artists and all presented for the Dublin Arts and Human Rights Festival. And I think what's really inspiring about it is hearing artists talk about who or what inspires them and sharing that, but then watching, for example, a visual artist work with a writer or a visual artist work with the filmmaker and bringing different art forms together to see what can be created. and it's all about human rights. So we have artists learning more about what human rights mean to them, but also telling us how their interpretation of human rights inspires or impacts on the work they make. So I find it very exciting, and so do the artists. Sometimes, I don't know if this is your experience, but certainly we have found, for example, the right to own your own home is a human right, and homelessness is a huge issue in Ireland. A whole generation of young people are being denied the right to have somewhere to live. We have a huge homelessness crisis in our country, and I think that's happening across Europe, because for me that's very much a part of this divide between rich and poor, the inequality around wealth that's happening in our world, where you have a whole generation of young people with no access to proper employment and limited access to education and to medical health care, and now also denied the right somewhere to live. And with the United, with the Declaration of Human Rights, the right to leisure. We all have the right to leisure as a human right. We all have the right to proper health care, the right to education, the right to move freely. And I think fundamentally the right to be who we want to be and express who we are. So that's what we're trying to, I suppose, generate talk and debate around what those rights are, but in a poetical, creative way. We would always say that when you create a piece of art, it's only 50% or half the circle, and the full circle is only complete when your audience are a part of that. So you're presenting work not just at audiences, you want audiences then to engage. So either talk with you in post-show discussions, or maybe interact with you during the performance, so that you're getting a sense of the feedback from the audience and you're getting them in creative conversation. But for example, Gathering on the Pond is a fun play where we've had schools in, and one of the performances, there was something like 70 young people watching the performance, but a number of the young children actually got up on the stage. So when they were talking about the environment, the young people would go over and look at the pond, or they would come up and touch, one of the characters plays a number of birds, so they would come up and touch her costume and talk to her. And there's a little bit of interaction between the actors and the audience. But we particularly like to have post-show discussions. That's where a lot of our interaction can happen. You give the audience the opportunity to talk to the artists and to comment on what they've seen and to ask questions around what they've seen and to talk about the processes and about what the work means to people. So that can be fun. It can be challenging sometimes and interesting, but also fun.